Hi and welcome to my channel. I just literally finished this mini album and the glue's not even dry yet. That's how recently finished this is. But I do need to pop it into the mail because it is a gift for my aunt, or more technically my husband's aunt. And I wanted to be sure to film this showcase video before I sent it off to her. So I used a lot of different products, and I'll try to pull out everything that I used to create this. But if I don't mention it, I'll also try to link it in the description box below as well. So the book measures about 7¼ by 7¼ For the majority of the pages, I actually used the Tonic Studios memory book die set, and the page size for that is about 7 by 7. The cover itself I hand cut from heavyweight chipboard, which I prefer for my covers and my spine, because I like it to be like really sturdy. And the heavyweight chipboard, first off, for the pages, I'm already using the largest die in those die sets. So if I wanted my album cover to be larger than the pages themselves, then that would force me to hand cut anyways. And second, the heavyweight chipboard you can't cut through with a regular thin metal die. You would need like a mixed media die or a steel roll die or something like that in order to cut through something as thick as heavyweight chipboard. Then I used, in terms of papers, I used the first edition Pretty Posy paper pad. This is 12 by 12. There are 48 sheets, and you get 16 different designs and 3 sheets of each, so a very generous paper pad. And I don't know if it's necessarily exactly half, but the first section of papers is single-sided, but they're kind of thicker and a little bit more specialty, so they have different finishes to them. And then the second half, or the back half of the paper pad, there are double-sided papers, and these are just matte papers, so really nice, generous. I think I pulled out one of each of the double-sided papers for the album itself, and I did cut into all of them. And then for the cover, I used one of the special, and it's kind of got a texture to it, almost reminds me of wallpaper, actually. Then the book title here, The Big Book of, is actually from, this is the set of memory book dies that I used. So this one is the Life's Journey Keepsake Base Creator die set. I think it's one of their earlier memory book lines. And I used this for the base pages of all of my pages inside the book. It actually comes with 2 different sentiments. So it comes with My Journey Begins and The Big Book of Me, but I cut off the me part to make it The Big Book of Lydia. So Aunt Lydia, she's a mother, a grandmother, she's a sister, she's a daughter, she's always thinking about everybody else, and I thought it would be fun for her birthday to give her something where she could really just turn the attention just on herself and make something that is all about her. So in this line, I also used, so this is the base creator. Then I think this was the first layering set that came with it. So this was Flora Memoria layering die set, and it's got really great patterns here. I mostly stuck to the larger pages, and then this one came out not too long ago, I think, and it's called Filigree Floral, and when that came out, the half cut came out with it. So I basically used all 4 die sets, and as you can tell, I'm a big memory book fan, so I think I have everything that's in this range, and I think I have everything that is in the other style of memory book where you get the inverted rounded corner that's a more rectangular shape. That was the previous mini album that I just finished. So that's where this book title came from, and then Aunt Lydia's name came from the Hunky a hunky-dory alphabet die set called Bold and Beautiful Alphabet, and it's kind of nice because for each of the letters you actually get 2 dies, and they're the same size, so when you stack them together you'll get this effect, but you get the outline and then you get the solid, but you can also use what drops out of the outline die, and that's a third variation of the alphabet, slightly smaller because it's within the outline, but I love when dies can be used in so many different ways like that. And I picked this up mostly because I just like kind of the bold font, and then the kind of wonkiness because the lines aren't perfectly straight. They're a little bit like if you look at the M, it's just a little wonky. So I kind of like that casualness to it. And that's what I've used there. The tag here is a Sizzix die set from Linda Canase, and there's the product number if you're curious. I've used this a lot actually, but on this project I only used the tag. And I did add an eyelet here because with this charm dangling on it, I definitely wanted to reinforce the whole with a metal eyelet. I've got on here some flamingo embellishments, and that's because Aunt Lydia loves flamingos. They're like her favorite. So Little Birdie Crafts had a dollar deals sale not too long ago now, and I picked up a couple of these embellishments for with her memory book in mind. And what's nice about these is that you get the flamingos facing in both directions. That way, wherever you're putting them on your project, you can choose which way you want them to be facing. So like here, they're both facing inward. But if I wanted the pink one on this side, I could have used this flamingo so that it's also facing inward. So those are kind of cute. And if you did see my last mini album for my sister-in-law, I made a bunch of 3D foam flowers for her album cover, but the realism of that wouldn't have gone too well with this style, and so instead I found this from my stash, which is from Crafter's Companion box kit number 13, and there are 4 flower dies, and they just make these really cute, very simple flowers. And I did use papers, and in fact die cut some of the layers from the pattern paper that I use throughout the book so that you get an even more abstract feel to the flowers. I did do a little bit of shaping with a ball stylus just to give it some curvature, but not necessarily to go for realism, but more just to go for different shape and texture. And then the charms are just from Amazon. So I bought a pack of charms, and I just picked some that I thought kind of represented Aunt Lydia, and it's on this little strap here, which has a lobster claw clasp, so she can actually take these trims out if she had something else she wanted to put them on, but she could take this whole strap out too. So I've left it so that this eyelet isn't attached or glued behind it, so that she could actually take out this entire strap, and if she wanted, she could strap this onto like a zipper on her book bag or on her purse or something like that. So that is pretty much everything. Oh, there are some scalloped frames that are layered up, and that's from a Sunny Studios Stamps die set that I have, and I just have some extras that I've pre-cut from other projects. But one die will actually cut both the outer frame that has the scallops on the outside, as well as the inner frame that has the scallops on the inside. So it's kind of nice. One frame, double duty, you get 2, or one die, and you get 2 frames out of it. So I just had some extras laying on my desk, and it happened to be in colors that would work for this mini album, so I decided to go ahead and use them here. And then there's these little heart embellishments as well that are kind of just layered back here, and those are just die cuts that kind of fell out of other portions from within the book. The back cover and the spine are just solid, so nothing too special going on there. So going into the book, on the front cover is, this is that half cut die set, and it makes really great gatefold. And here are those white little hearts, and so the hearts that fall out from here I just use throughout the album and on the cover. And then the little pink glitter heart from the cover is from this die cut here. So this is a verso die that will cut the pattern into this decorative matte and layer panel here. And then what I did to get the glitter inlay is just cut a piece of glitter cardstock that was just large enough to cover the heart. And that way I don't have to cut out the full panel, but rather just what I needed. And I figured while I was die cutting, I would get the outline of the heart, even though all I really wanted was just this inlay portion. But it's not that much more glitter paper to get the full heart, and then I had embellishments to use throughout the book. And then on these tabs here, there's actually 2 verso dies that you can choose from. And same here, this decorative panel has 2 verso dies that you can choose from. But there's only one outer die here, and it's going to be the scalloped edge one. So flipping in to this gatefold, in the center here is a Crafter's Companion photo frame. This is the Primrose Corner. And hopefully I get this video posted soon, because as of this recording, the US warehouse sale is going on, and they have these on super discount. Although they seem to have a lot of this in stock that they're trying to clear out, because it's almost always on sale. So you can get, I have all 4, I think there might be 5, so I have 4 of the 5, and they're kind of nice. So there's a die that cuts out this inner aperture here, and then you get the stamp that is this floral. It's a really nice corner floral piece. You could use it outside of the photo frame, and then you get a smaller floral stamp, and kind of like that one right there, and you get stamp to make these little kind of curly embellishments, and dies to cut out this corner piece and these smaller flowers. So what I did was I actually die cut 2 of these flowers, the larger ones, and then 3 of these smaller ones, and just kind of arranged them to make this corner cluster of flowers just a little bit more substantial. And you can slip a photo behind here, so let me, and I've just written in pencil that this is a 4x6, so that when she gets this, she knows what size photo she can slip behind here. Oh, so a 4x6 will it's a little snug because of where I glued it, so she'll have to trim it down a little bit, but once she does, she could slip a photo behind there. I should probably correct that measurement for her. Then on either side of the gatefold, I have, and I've used these little photo frames a lot too. I have, again, I have like full collection syndrome. I have, I think, all of these photo frame that are designed by Linda Canase for Sizzix. This one is, here's the product number on this one. I don't know if it has a name. I'm sure it does. I just don't see it. But I love these, and I use them quite a lot. But for these little photo frames, I did make a little tag that she can pull out, and it actually will read, "I am beautiful," to complete the sentiment. But my thinking is that, she could actually mount her photo on this little tab, or just so that she can pull it in and out and get that full effect, or she could just slip a photo behind here without the tab. For this tab, it was kind of, I don't have anything that will cut a tab that's exactly this size, but what I did use was this Motion Crafts die set that I have. It's their small animation envelope, and really there's this one die out of this set that when I saw it, I knew would become super useful because it's just the half circle. So this half circle you could use either as a notch that you would cut into something so that you can pull something out, or you could use it how I've used it to just create a little tab. So it looks like this. All I did was, once I made my little photo frame, I put the piece of paper inside as far as it would go, and let's say this was a full strip of paper, right? So then all I did was, using my little half circle die here, I just lined up the edge of the top edge of the straight edge here along my piece of paper, taped it down, and then die cut that. And what that gave me was this little kind of tab end. And then I just rounded the corners. And then I got a tab. Custom to whatever length, whatever width that you want. So I use that throughout my book. I don't think I have another die like that. So I'm gonna be really careful about not losing this because it's super, super handy. I'm sure there are other ways to achieve the same thing, but from what I have, that was how I thought to do it. And then, so this side says I am beautiful, and on this side, very similarly, it says I am strong. So I love like these kind of positive sentiments, and it's all about her. So I thought that that would be like a good way to start off the book, because it's all about, her characteristics. So on the first page here, very similar to that, I've got more photo frames. These are slightly larger, so these can fit a 2x2 photo, but I created these little tabs the same way. Here though, I used the Tonic Studios photos and film strip die set, and it's just this one right here. And then I used, Hello Life. That came from something else. That came from a Sizzix die set, which it looks like I might have put away. But let me see if I can find it real quick. Still have all of my album making stuff here, so... Yep, here we go. So... This is the product number here, and it's actually just called Hello Life, the die set. And so that's where I got the sentiments here, and I also put little messages once you open up or pull out these tabs, which, like I said, she could just slot in her photo. She could mount her photo to the tab however she wants to use it. Totally up to her, but I thought that it would be easier, instead of giving her photo mats that she had to kind of glue onto her page, to instead just have all of these photo areas predetermined, so that she could just slip her photos in, and then it's just a lot easier. I don't know how crafty she is, so I figured this would just be easier. It's a little bit more prescriptive, so the placement of everything is already predetermined, but at least it's kind of less work for her. She just needs to kind of cut down her photos and then slot them in. And these little arrows and whatnot are from this die set as well. Then from this, oh, this is really cool. Do I have it here? I might have put this away already. This is one of the new Hunky Dory snippables. And what's really cool is that there's a paper pad, die set, and stamp set. I don't have the paper pads, but the idea behind these is that you can decoupage them up. So there's a couple of layers going on here. But the unique aspect of this is that there's one die that will die cut out your camera, and then when you run it through your die cutting machine, it's all still gonna stay together as one piece. However, these areas, let's say around the camera lens, for just to take an example, it's only attached by a few places around the edge. So when you want to go to kind of decoupage this up and build up your layers, there's just a few places that you need to snip in order to release that element. And that's why it's called snippables, because instead of having to fussy cut around this entire thing, or instead of having separate dies to cut out different elements of this camera and the flowers, there's only the one die, and then just a few places that you have to snip. And they actually give you a layering suggestion, which is just a suggestion. You don't have to necessarily layer it up as many times as they have, but I think they give you an instruction sheet that has like 6 layers on it. And I've only done technically, I only die cut this twice, but I only colored it the one time. And I used the Scalloped 3D glue gel to achieve varying thicknesses. So I just put a little bit more gel behind the flowers just to make it a little bit more raised from the camera lens. But so you don't have to like go super crazy with the decoupaging and the layers, but this makes it really easy. And when it released on Craft Stash, I debated getting all of them, but I wasn't too certain that I would love it. So I only ended up getting 2 out of, I think there are 5 designs maybe. But like I said, I think I have a little bit of full collection syndrome, and now I want to go back and get the rest. But it's because it works out really well. I really enjoyed it, and I like the snippability of it. It works perfectly, and it's just really nice just to have the one die, and you just have to line it up the one time, and you can get all of your pieces out of it when you go to layer. So love that. And then this little photo frame actually came from, when I saw that just kind of brought up other Hunky Dory die sets, and they actually have a memory book die set too. So I picked this up, and that photo frame came from there. And again, just similar to the others, you can lift out this tag. I made the tag the exact same way. And then this stamp came from the Crafter's Companion photo frame. And here's another gatefold. So open this one up, and these little side pockets actually came from this die set. It's from hot off the press. I got it from Craft Stash, and it's called their mini envelope and gift card holder. 2 dies, and you get 2 styles of folders. I mean, this is an envelope really, and this is large enough to hold a gift card. This can hold a gift card too, but I'm using it to hold tags. And so I just made 2, one on either side. This is just a small set of tags. These are the Tim Holtz Small Talk sentiment stickers. So just something kind of fun, different for her to use and decorate her journal with, or mini album with. And then on this side I gave her some plain colored ones, And I was playing around with my foil and laminator, so I have this kind of rainbow foil, live a good story, and then on this side, good vibes only. And these are just, I think they're from stock photo that I bought. It just has a collection of sentiments. And so this is just like a little, where did this come from? Oh, you know what? This little photo frame is this right here. So this larger photo frame, where did that come from? Oh, I know. This one came from this die set, which is this right here. And so that's a Sizzix, that's the number for it there. So this cute little photo frame, which was from the Hunky Dory set, I thought was super cute. And I'm just using that as a tuck spot so she can fit 4x6 photo on here. And she can pull that out and it says Free Spirit underneath. I did this the one time and then I just really loved the whole idea of having the little tab that you pull out and it just reviews like a second sentiment. So there's that. Then we have a pocket that I made using the half cut die, and this is the second verso design that you get from that. And really simple pocket, so she can slip in whatever kind of memorabilia or anything that she wants to kind of keep in here, more photos for example. And then I also gave her a envelope here so she can also fit, I think, what size will this fit? I think it will fit a 4x6, but I am not, yeah, well I should anyways, so let's see. So she can fit, maybe not too many 4x6 photos, but she can fit a couple at least. So, so extra photos can go in here or any other kind of memorabilia that she would like. And then this page, this just has a very simple card. I did put some photo corners. They're clear and she can fit 4x4 photos on this top. I gave her a set of 4 photo corners at the top and at the bottom, so this can fit 2 photos there, another pocket here, and then 2 more of these cute little photos. These are the 2x2 photos, so this is just being me. And this one says, I can't explain. So I kind of think it's kind of fun. She can choose fun little photos that she thinks those captions might work for. Or she can write her own caption here and then stick her photo behind the little tab. So a lot of different ways that she can kind of use these. It's kind of up to her, but at least so that she can still kind of customize it, but then there are some things that she doesn't have to worry about, like where to stick things. And then this is kind of a, oh, this came loose. This is a 2-in-1 album. So this is a separate little album, which has a little camera behind here. It's held in place by a magnet, so, or 2 magnets really, so that's not going to drop out. That little camera came from that last Sizzix die set that I showed, this one. So it makes this cute little camera. And this camera was, when I pulled out the die set, this was actually pre-assembled from the last project, which I think was my Father's Day card for last year. I had already made a few, and so I didn't even have to make this. This was already made for me. And then I created this really simple little album inside this album, and this uses I think the small, no, not the smallest die. Because this does come in the mini album die sets. So let me see if I can find it. What's really nice is that you get all different edges. So, for example, the original just has plain straight edge for your page, and then scalloped edge for your mats and layers. Then the second one has kind of a dotted edge, and then the third one has a straight edge but with kind of a dashed design. So this is using the outer edge of the Flora Memoria, and then so all of my pages for the micro album, I guess. If this is a mini album, I guess this is a micro album. And so all the pages are cut using that. But then see here, this is actually from the more recent die set, the Filigree Floral. And, the equivalent, die to the outer edge actually fits within here. So you can see it mats and layers inside of this other one, even though this is from a different set. So they're from two different sets. So the page, the cover in this case, is from this one, but the mat and layer for it is from this one. And because this doesn't have a matting layer for that page die, because it's just got the decorative, and then it's got this like really small one that's I think like 2 inches smaller. So it's really nice how these die sets work with each other, and really, really well thought out, because it just gives you so much versatility when you have the full collection, and then you can just kind of mix and match between them. And as I said, the mini album's really simple. This is just, plain pages. All I've done is put mats on the front and back cover, but that's mostly because I wanted a ribbon closure, and I needed to hide some magnets on the back. So that's why I needed to mat those pages. But it's really simple, because all I did was using this die. It's not a page creator die, so it will cut all 4 edges. But what I did was, for the inside pages, I just did a partial die cut. So let's say this is my cutting plate. If my die goes all the way to here, I lined up my die, my top cutting plate, just shy of this cutting edge here. That way I could have more paper on this end. And essentially what I did was, with that extra paper, I used it as a glue tab. So a little bit hard to see because it's white on white. But basically this this page here extends onto the back of the page before it, and it just has a glue tab to secure it. And then all of the pages are attached that way. So there's just a little glue tab. It is visible. So if I wanted, I could go back and put die cut a mat to go over top of this. But I didn't want to add too much bulk to this, because it doesn't have like a spine really to accommodate for additional thickness. And what I did, and that doesn't even count the photos that this is meant to hold. So this will hold 3x3 photos, and I put clear, although thinking about it again, maybe I could have used black photo corners. I don't know. But I did use my clear photo corners, and so that way she can just cut her photos down to 3x3 and then just slip them into these pages. So this is a nice way for her to put quite a few photos, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pages, which is a weird number. I think I was shooting for 5 and must have cut an extra one and then decided not to waste it and just put it in. But really cute. Then you know, she can, even if it does get a little bit extra thick, she can always, that's why the ribbon closure is nice to have, because then she can just use the ribbon to kind of keep it shut if she needs. And she could, you know, leave this out of her book and this page is still nicely decorated. It's got those white little hearts that I just inlaid back into the centers of the hearts on the pattern paper, but otherwise she can just throw this in. It's in there pretty darn good. You know, there's only 2 magnets holding it in there, but that's enough. Hopefully it'll still be enough once the photos are in here, the extra weight of the photos, but I think it'll be just fine. And so that's the little album within an album, which I've done this once before, but with the star style album. And in this version, I wanted to use another die that came from the same die set, just to kind of mimic that shape. That way you know they belong together. And I wanted to just do a more simple, I mean, there's really no binding system. It's just a very simple flip book. So there is my album. So hopefully you enjoyed this little walkthrough showcase of this album. Like I mentioned, I will try to find links to everything that I used to create this, and then put them in the description box below. And then at the end of this video, I'll link you to a playlist of other mini albums that I've created, as well as the one that I made just before this one, if you're curious to see that one, because I mentioned it a few times now in the course of this voiceover. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that similar videos to this one are presented to you. And you know, please consider liking, sharing, and commenting as well. That helps other people who might be interested in this video discover it as well. And in the meantime, I hope you're all doing really well, and until my next video, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Thank you. Bye.